Hello, wonderful people. It is me, Dan, ya man. You know me, you love me, and here I am. So today I'm gonna go through and explain why dissociation happens, like chemically in the brain. Um, Granted, this isn't gonna be the most scientific explanation out there, but hey, I'm not a scientist. But I was taught about this by one of my therapists, actually, and this was during a time when I was having chronic dissociation, like very, very frequent, and I was like, why is this happening? What is going on with me? Is there something wrong? I don't know. Well, as you probably know, as you're watching this video, uh, yeah, dissociation sucks. um, but enough of an introduction. Eh, I will go ahead and get into it. And I'm presuming you already know what dissociation is, or disassociation, or depersonalization. Um, so if you don't, I'd recommend looking up those terms. But yeah, here we go. All right. So emotions. Everyone has them, for better or for worse. But in our brain, we have a little emotion regulator thingamabob. Now, this is there for like all sorts of different emotions, like anger, sadness, fear, etc. Like for example, we might have here's like our happiness, and goes up and down and up and down. Uh, Sadness, and uh, if we ever have an emotion that goes above or below the lines, our brain works to reel it back in, to bring it back, because these points are areas of high stress to the brain. Um, and so we work to bring ourselves back in. That way, we don't overwork our engine. Um, so let's say we are going through a lot. Like, for example, something traumatic is happening, or you're reliving a traumatic moment. And sometimes your brain can't really reel you back down. And, well, you're up there for a while, and eventually you flatline. Um, Now, the reason behind this is it's sort of like one of those little cartoony machines that, like, it's like a little steam engine, and it has like boop, and we have this wonderful little dial right here that's like uh, how the machine is running. We've got, good, we've got not the best, uh, danger, oh god, danger. And yeah, so as our emotions, go through these things, like we have our little gauge, like, measuring where we're at any specific moment. But once we go over the line up here, we might like, be like wiggling right here, and then the machine eventually breaks if you're over the red for too long. And this can happen with happiness, sadness, etc. It can happen with any emotion. So then, the machine, like, breaks, and we have, like, all the springs going everywhere, and then it's like, oh gosh. And yeah, then, someone's got to come fix it. Uh, Now, during that time where we're fixing it, you have to turn the machine from on to off. So when the machine is off, it allows for recuperation. We are able to go back to that neutral state, um, and in that neutral state, our brain takes some time to recover. This is sort of why, like, for example, if something like traumatic happens, or you are really shocked, like something really, really happy happened and whatnot, you might start to feel nothing. Like you might just be at sort of like a flat line, and you're like, why am I not processing this? Why am I not feeling this? Well, it's because your brain had too much of one emotion for too long. So when it shuts off, you start to dissociate in a sense. Now, that's good and all, but why does dissociation happen frequently? Well, here, let me go ahead and erase this real quick. Right. So, dissociation can happen frequently for multiple reasons. Whether you're under a chronic state of like high stress from whatever, whether you're chronically like under stressed, for example, if you know you're in isolation and nothing is happening, and like all the days start to blend together and whatnot. So like there can be too low as well as too high. But each time you break the machine, it takes longer to recover and get back to normal. So if we, for example, break the machine here, and then might take a little bit, but then we're back to normal. Then if we, break the machine again, it might take even longer to get back to normal, etc., etc. Because too much stress on any system, mechanical or neurochemical, it takes time to fix and takes time to help. And sometimes, our brain sort of falls into the loop of uh, going into these states of high stress, these states of these states of dissociation, because our brain sort of gets used to it. Think of it like you're walking through the snow. Which path are you going to go on? The one with a couple little footsteps, or the one that's already like tamped down from a lot of people walking on it? Your brain likes to go this route. But ever so slowly, you can get yourself to instead go on this route, and slowly but surely, you'll make a new path again. Not to say that this won't happen again, but eventually, it'll fill up with more snow. Um, if you can't tell, I think very visually and in metaphors. um, but with trying to get this new path built, or like trying to make it so that you don't go like over the limit for too long, it's hard. Definitely harder than in previous, like, than one might think by this explanation. So, what can we do to help? Now, that is a good question that there's no concrete answer to. Like, what helps one person might not help another. But what I can say is, if you find that you're starting to dissociate, or if you're finding that you're under a really high amount of stress, recognizing that and being like, I need to lower my stress levels, or I need to heighten my stress levels in a sense, like get more stimulation or get less stimulation. Um, and, you can take a step away, watch something happy, watch something sad if you're experiencing like too happy, like a mania or whatnot. And if you are currently dissociating, sort of giving yourself time to recover, giving yourself time to relax and away from that high stress environment. Because if you go from flatline all the way back up to here, that ain't the best. So yeah, allow yourself to have space, allow yourself to recover. Um, it's definitely easier said than done, but slowly but surely, as you remind yourself that, hey, let's take a step back, let's calm down, become aware of our surroundings, it can help, slowly but surely. It's sort of like, that path that I was mentioning, the path in the snow. Like if you start to remind yourself, like, hey, it's okay, let's take a step back, eventually, you make a clear path for yourself, and it becomes less of a conscious effort to try and bring yourself down. Um, well, if you're dissociating, it can be hard to think of, like, okay, what to do? How do I calm myself down? Oh my god, I'm stressing out. Well, that's where the 5, 4, 3, 2 method comes in. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's not where you just count down. Well, sort of do. But what you're going to want to do is list 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you feel, like physically, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. Now, you might want to rapid fire through all these and be like, why am I not feeling better yet? The key with this is becoming aware of your surroundings and reminding yourself that you are in the present moment. You are here, you are safe, you are present. So instead of going like, I see this, and this, be like, I see a bag of lavender. It kind of has like a white quality to it with, like, the little bit of purple inside. I see my little leather stuffed bear. He has a bit of a gritty texture. It's okay to, get a little distracted by these things because, in a way, it's sort of meant to distract you. Um, and so, like, yeah, you can go on these lists, really focus in on these sensations that you're feeling. And if you get to the end and you're still dissociating, that's okay. It's okay. And at the very least, maybe it helped a little and gave you a little bit of relief for a moment. There's a lot of other things that you can do to sort of help bring yourself down, but there's likely lists online, but this is definitely one of the methods that helps me the most. And like I said before, after you start to get into the habit of doing this and like reminding yourself to do this, eventually you'll actively remember to do this when you're feeling stressed. Because, at first it can be hard to remember, and then afterwards you might be like, oh, well, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? But the thing is, don't hold yourself to the same standards when you're dissociating. Uh, like expecting yourself to act quote unquote normal or act smart, etc., when you are literally at a point where your body is trying to like get things under control and trying to recover, and you're like at a bit of a flat line in a sense. You are not operating at full capacity. Don't force yourself to. If you keep the machine running when you're past the red and, like, you turn it on, that can be so much worse for your system. So give yourself time, give yourself space, and remember, it's all going to be okay. I hope that this helped, and if it did, just let me know. If it didn't, feel free to let me know too, and let me know what I could improve next time. I'm trying to create this as a resource for you and whoever else wants to watch this video or that I send this video to. Well, that's it, and good luck out there. Stay strong. Love you. Bye bye.